First thing I'd say is that do not believe all homeless people ran away from home. That's the first thing. Do not believe in outdated cliches. And also, what is true of the part is not true of the whole. That is the biggest issue I see people have. Not grasping. Like I see too many people categorize like, oh, a few people of this group do this. That means they all do. No. I realized I was transgender back in August of 2008. Late August. And I hadn't been able to do anything about it. I got the blood tests as I could to see what could be done, because that's the first step. And I was told I couldn't be prescribed, not because the doctor wasn't able to get him, but because, I probably would have been lynched. So it's for my own safety. It's a better safe than sorry situation, which I fully agree. I've lived by that. Better safe than sorry. If this may have a negative repercussion, don't do it.
Yeah, who cares if most of the town is supportive if there's one person who might kill you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they'd be mobbed afterwards, but it'd be too little too late.
Yeah.
Fortunately, I never had a horrible home growing up with abusive family members. I never had, all these misfortunes that you hear about. Or, that become stereotypes for reasons people run away. I never had any of that. It was just because my location, I had to move so I could do what I needed to. And I never had the misfortune of having to actually sleep on the streets, because I always had places to go. There were always places to go. So I was very thankful for that. And even though I may not have experienced the worst of it, and I don't presume to know the worst of it, I still feel there's the vital service I can have by advocating for better availability of resources. I guess would be the best term to use for that. And other stuff that we need.
And what are the most important things to advocate for, you think?
Advocate? Probably the fact that we exist. Far too much more. I've wrestled with it far more times than I would like.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of stumbled over that sentence there. And yeah, I do have, I kind of do have a method that relieves the suicidal urge and is guaranteed to fail it. So, I choke myself, I'll be honest.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just to get the urge out. I'm far too weak to actually do anything. And even if I did pass out, my arms would relax and I would be fine. It's a foolproof plan.
Safer than other methods, that's for sure.
Yeah, because other methods you might accidentally kill yourself. With this one, you won't.
Yeah.
Unless for some reason you were playing with super glue before doing it. In which case, I'm sorry you deserve to die for that stupidity. Freaking get a Darwin Award for that. Honorable mention.
Do you think that depression and suicidal thoughts is really common? Is as common as people say with queer youth?
I believe it probably is, and even more so with trans people, because you have to deal with the depression of knowing who we are on the inside and seeing how we are on the outside. There's a mismatch. It's I've actually seen this happen on a computer when it's trying to load a file. And it can't find the file, it stutters. Cannot find file. It's when you're looking outside and you're looking, your visual image of who you know yourself to be, and then you look at how you look on the outside is looking for right image, but it's not there. And I've even had it myself where my brain has just clicked. And it just stuttering, and it's which is a very weird feeling, by the way, when your brain is just finally back. But anyways, I think that depression is common, especially among trans folk, because of that mismatch. And if they're poor, if they're low on funds, then it's also because of that, because it's hard. It's you're never going to be able to afford to change yourself to how you want to be. See, that's another thing I tell them. Make resources more available. I wrote about a guy who went to a humane society and because his cat was hurt, and they killed it, even though they said they were going to treat it. And it's kind of different, but it's also related because, availability of resources. Like the resources weren't available, even though they said they were. But it's like we need availability to the resources we need. Anyway, and like the LGB and everyone else, like I'm just gonna call it queer because that's like all inclusive. It is. Stop calling it LGBTQ, IQ, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I don't know. Call it queer. It's all inclusive, and you don't have to say the entire alphabet.
I agree.
Anyways, like especially with like the lesbian, gay, bisexual, like that not trans, like that side of it is also hard, especially if they're in an area that doesn't accept them, because then they get that depression because it's like they want to love who they want, but they can't because the area they're in has a mindset against it. So I think that's the main thing. And I noticed that a lot of the trans girls become sex workers, and like most of that is just out of necessity for money. And then there's also the image that, like, a lot of is being portrayed in the media, you know. Like, there's all this news that, like, there's been advances to, you know, making girls feel better when they grow up. The problem is, for trans girls, we have the issue of, for the most part, we have the issue of not growing up as girls. So, like, there's all these expectations, like, this social stereotype of the perfect girl, and like all these trans girls strive for it, and what they do is they wear short skirts, they wear freaking revealing clothing, and it's like one of my friends told me this, and it was pretty much that by trying too hard they make themselves even more clockable. Like you look and you're saying like normal, like that's a trans girl, and it's just because it's so obvious because they're just so over the top. And I understand if you're doing that for a performance or something. But day-to-day life, like, that's extreme. Like, as you can see, I dress normal. I dress comfy. And no one ever clocks me. Even if my voice gets a little bit too deep, their minds disregard it because their brain says, girl. Oh, she just has a little bit of a deep voice. Oh, well.
She's an alto.
And so it's like, I think they become sex workers, and I think it's partially because the need for money, and I think it's also partially because it's like sometimes it seems like they're already dressed like that, so why not? I mean, honestly, I hate that outfit, that clothing style of skimpy. That should never be a style unless you're going to the beach. And admittedly, this is a peninsula, but the whole thing isn't a beach.
Right.
And also, you know, there's the added problem of if you wear too short of a skirt and your tuck slips, you're pretty much screwed. So that's another reason I would never wear a short skirt. It's like asking for trouble. Yeah. But yeah, like I never have any issues like going to the bathroom or anything like that because people's overall initial impression of me is female, and so when they see me walk into the women's bathroom, they don't think twice.
Have you had any experiences with hate crimes?
Well, I had someone try to cyberbully me over it. Kid's the least intimidating person I've ever met, and he thought he could intimidate me. I was just sitting on meal night, and I get an alert on my phone, Facebook notification. Kid sent me a net message, and it said, fucking trans. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I show like a few of the staff people that are asking what I can. I'm like, I'm just going to let it be. It's probably isolated, whatever. Someone tries to explain to me. He's probably saying it as a joke, like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, I don't think so. So I'm just minding my own business, like, and I post on one of the lyrics for Facebook statuses. And then he posts something else. So I did what any sensible person did. Took a screen capture of took a press print screen, put it in Paint, cut out the Facebook status with the logo so you know it was official, and then saved that as an image, uploaded it, and linked it in another status. And I also showed staff that status that he posted. Got a ban from drop-in temporarily. But the fact is, you don't mess with me. It's like, especially if you're not intimidating. So, like, that's the closest I've had to experiencing a hate crime myself. Just like that bullying over me being trans. But, like, that 100-line poem I wrote, it ends with, the only thing you have to say is, I am me, and that's okay. And I say that because I feel like the whole poem is about accepting yourself, basically. Like, that's the culmination of it, that no matter what you're looking, you just have to look inside yourself and find who you are at the core. And once you see that, and once you make peace with that, you're fine. And I say that because I have made peace with that. I am comfortable with who I am, how I am right now even. And I'm okay with this. So you can't really bully me or intimidate me with any of those things about who I am. Because you know what? I am trans. So what? I don't see what the big deal is.
Right.
I never do anything to deal with the police. I mean, heck, I support the Occupy movement, but I never went to the camps because it's hard enough to get a job when you're trans. Even if there's other protections, it's still hard. Having something on having a criminal record is not going to help matters much. If anything, it's going to make it even more impossible.